Cut it, stamp it, craft with pride. Jamie Rodgers leads the ride. With creative expressions, ideas flow. Woodware magic makes it glow. Jamie Rodgers, craft we sing. Creative joy in everything. Woodware wonders, bright and true. Jamie brings the craft to you. From stencils and stamps to paper so fine, creative expression spark and shine. Woodware tools in every hand. Jamie Rodgers crafts the land. Jamie Rodgers craft we sing. Creative joy in everything. Woodware wonders, bright and true. Jamie brings the craft to you. From stencils and stamps to paper so fine, creative expression spark and shine. Woodware tools in every hand. Jamie Rodgers crafts the land. Jamie Rodgers craft we sing. Creative joy in everything. Woodware wonders, bright and true. Jamie brings the craft to you.
I like this one. We're going to let it play out. This is the best so far. Oh, yes, he does. Jamie brings the crafts to you. Good morning, one. Oh, good afternoon, one. Good afternoon, all. I hope you're good and well. Before we go any further, let's do the norm. Can you see and hear us? There's a lot of you in early today. I'm loving this. Loving this. But let's just do this. Can you see and hear? Thank you, Eduardo. You can all see and hear us. This is good. Now, I was just chatting to him, and the last 20 minutes has flown by because we were having a good old chin wag. We have got, and he's a nice guy. He really is, and he will hate me for saying this, but we have got up there with him a legend in my eyes. And I don't just say it, and I don't say it about everyone either. Genuinely, what you see is what you get. One of the hardest working man in craft. He really is. Do you know how I know that? Because I did research about him today. Well, early hours of this morning. We'll talk about this later. Where was it? With over 500 products. Oh, yeah. Within the year, you've launched over 500 product lines under the Jamie Rodgers Craft umbrella. 500 in a year. And every one of them has been tried and tested. I am right, Amanda. Yes, I know. Here, you are right. He is a nice guy. He is. Alison's in as well. He's a legend. Yes, he is a legend. Hi, Jamie. Love your James Bond adverts. Can see and hear you. So much love for him. Let's get him on. We've got loads to talk about, and I mean loads to talk about, and pin badges to talk about as well. Here he is. It is the man, the myth, the legend, the MI5 agent. Oh yeah, Pete's brilliant as well. He's sitting. I've just seen him. We've had camera angles galore if we need to see Pete. It is the one and only. Be upstanding if you can for the legend that is craft designer of the year. Yeah, it's Jamie Rodgers. How are you, Mr. Jamie Rodgers?
I'm very well. I want to do this every day. The way you big me up is amazing. And that theme tune, I want that as a ringtone. I need that. I need that file. Pete's out here in absolute stitches. So yeah, I'm going to have to get that from you at some stage. But it's
I will send it over to you. If you get Pete to message me on the Facebook now, when the message comes through, I'll send it over at the end of the interview. I'll send it over to you. It cost me a fortune to bring the boys of the band in just to do that.
Just for that one, yeah?
Just for that. That's all I've done.
There's a lot of them.
There is. It's a big piece of orchestra. So let's get straight. First of all, thank you so much for doing this. I know you are a very, very busy man at the moment. So it does mean
we
a lot.
are, but it's important to us to come and be part of the Hobby Maker family and join in with all the fun and antics that brings, genuinely. And it is something, I will be honest, I actually asked if I could come and do because I've been really looking forward to it. So kind of, invited myself as I do.
That's fine. We like that. We like it. Right, we're going to get straight in because there is literally, when I did my research earlier, there are 3 pages worth of stuff.
Goodness.
I need to get through with you in the course of about 45 minutes.
Okay.
If you've got any questions as well, please put them into the chat. I can see all of them here. Yes, please, to the intro. Yeah, he wants the intro. I'm on it. I'm on it. Don't worry. Let's go all the way back, and then we'll work our way forward to creative expressions. We'll work our way forwards to the pin badges that we've got releasing. FYI, I am the only one with a pin badge as well at the moment.
Even I don't have a pin badge yet.
I am the only one with one. I'm loving it. Let's go in. So how did you first get into crafting? When I was reading about you earlier, I read that you discovered the world of papercraft at the age of 18 and you've not looked back since. But what got you into that world of papercraft?
Papercraft, probably. The love of scrapbooking, really. At the time, scrapbooking was big on the shopping channels, the ones that are no longer with us. And it was kind of my mum that started it, I suppose, from the scrapbooking side. If I remember rightly, I'd found it on the channel. I'd found an hour all about dolls' houses. My mum is heavily into dolls' houses. She literally has collected like about 20 are currently in the cellar and the loft. She's got hundreds of the things and endless tubs to build them. She never really builds them. She just kind of collects them. But she's got lots and lots of stuff for it. And I'm going back now, 20 odd years now. But I think I'd found an hour about dolls' houses. So she tuned into that, and one thing as it does leads to another. And before you know it, she's left that hour needing a scrapbook and 12x12s and acid-free glue and all of them things. And I think it was actually her kind of picking up that side of it that I was like, yeah, I want to play with this because I love craft and I love creating. So I need to play in that field as well. And that was, I suppose, my first introduction to what you would class as papercraft. Before that, I did lots of other crafts and lots of different things. In my teenage years, I loved doing furniture restoration. So I would go around and scout and find furniture and then kind of buy that and do it up. And then before that, going way back, our whole family are very big into banger racing, or were back then.
Nice.
We had a local track and all of my family, including my dad at one point, raced. So I used to buy my plastic toy cars and then I'd smash them up to look like banger cars and paint them and put the little VIN numbers on them and do all of that. And that was kind of one of my first hobbies, going right the way through from very young up to quite late, really. And then it went to furniture, then it went to papercraft.
So then you sort of worked your way up. So it's always really been in the family, as it were.
Yeah.
So moving forward a few years from there, how did you get on to the design team? How did you do that aspect of it all? Because it's hard to get into, really, in the grand scheme of things.
I was really lucky, to be honest. When I was about 18, so it all happened very quickly. We kind of, as a family, moved into the world of papercraft, and kind of giving you a bit more backstory on that one. At the time, because we live in Norfolk, at the time, Mum was going out and trying to find all these acid and lignin-free products and heading around the local stores, and everyone kind of just scratched their head and said, I've got no idea what you mean. And I think it was because it was new and it would just kind of come over from the States, this whole logic of scrapbooking. We couldn't really find the supplies that we needed. And you've got to remember, I'm going back a long time now, so online wasn't quite as big, and even the shopping channels that were covering it were doing odd hours here and there. So Mum, being the wonderful woman she is, said, well, let's open a store. So we opened our first store when I was 18 in a little tiny arcade in Great Yarmouth, tiny store, and started out there trying to stock and have all of the items that you needed for all types of papercraft, but essentially scrapbooking as well. And that journey kind of evolved on for many, many years, and the shops kind of went off in different tangents and different things. And as technology and my very limited technological knowledge kind of progressed, I started doing videos on YouTube. And it was Sue Wilson who see one of the videos and reached out and said, you should come and work for Creative Expressions on TV. It wasn't a job I would have ever put myself forward for in even the slightest. They could have done the auditions in the building next door and I wouldn't have gone. That isn't me. That's not something I would do. But having somebody like Sue reach out and say, you should do this, I was like, well, how do I say no? Just Sue. I'm going to have to go and do this. I'm going to have to. So, but I said yes, and that was kind of at the stage where I decided in life I just got to say yes. If people asked me to do things, however much it put me out of my comfort zone, however much I didn't want to do it, I'm going to say yes, and we'll see where that gets us. And that was kind of a bit of a turning point because I haven't really said no to anything since. And that's
so
it.
No, that's good. So it was one of them that it was sort of done on a whim. You weren't intending to get into any design team, intending to be on. You just wanted a hobby. It was your hobby that you were interested in.
Yeah.
It just happened that Sue stumbled across your
Yeah.
your online videos. So from that online video, is that where you learnt your sort of your wealth of knowledge to take forward that what you've got now?
I think it's just, I love to explore craft. I love to explore anything, and building and construction and design have always been at the core of everything I've done all of my life. My parents found it fascinating, and we go back again. Sorry, it's like a history lesson. I'm going to treat today like a therapy session, so forgive me. You just get
It's
everything.
fine. I love it. We love it all.
But when I was really young, it wasn't a Lego kit or branded kit. We didn't have Lego money, and Lego was very expensive back then. But there was a cheap shop in Colchester. I think it was actually even called the Cheap Shop, and it had this kids' play set of like scaffolding bars and different things. And you would build this giant scaffold building, like the structure to a block of flats, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd have a little detonator, and you'd hit the detonator, and it would blow it up as if you was a demolition expert. And I used to spend hours upon hours upon hours, literally days and days. And every birthday and Christmas, I would ask for more kits. And it used to get to the point that I would have to have about 9 detonators dotted around the front room just to take down whatever construction I'd built, because they was just too big for one. And it was all design. It was all construction. It was all, that's what I wanted to do. It was never about the building. It was about how can we build this differently and what can we do. So I suppose it's always the design-led part of it that's kind of brought me to here.
See, that's good. I like that. I like this. And Lisa says we all need a therapy session, so treat this as you will. I'll send the invoice after.
Just in the sofa.
A little chaise lounge.
That'd be fine.
So from there, so we're now on the DT team. We're loving what we're doing. Do you still? Because don't think people realise. Do you still have a job alongside the design team when you're working for Creative Expressions, or did you just go all in and did they pay you along the way?
Back at the end, that's a good one. Back then, it was they did pay me. I shouldn't say that. But you can't, and it's like all of us. It's very hard to do the TV or to do DT and just have that as an income. So at the time, I still had my stores and still do to this day. So it was very much, I just did the kind of Creative Expression shows around still being in the stores. And we're going back quite a few years now. So we used to teach a lot of lessons in stores, as well as still do the videos for the stores and bits like that. So it was a very full-on time back then as well. We never really stopped. We like to work.
So let's move forward then. So you've been through your Creative Expressions. Did you ever want to be on TV? Was that something that you had in your back catalog? Oh, I'd love to do. When they were on TV, did you go, oh, I'd love to do that? Or is it just a case of, I'm quite happy sitting here making cards at home, to be honest?
I never had the yearning to do TV. Never. I admire them. Everybody who goes on TV, presenters, demonstrators, everybody. I think it's an incredible world, and it's now one I absolutely love being a part of and really genuinely enjoy it. But it's never been something I would have ever volunteered to do or put myself forward to do. As I say, the auditions for that could have been next door, and I would never have gone and done it, because it just, to me, I'm not a very confident person. And it was very much out of my wheelhouse to put myself forward to do anything. And even today, and I find confidence a really funny thing, because it's like, this is fine, I could do this. But if you was to ask me to go and, I don't know, take an order off of a table in a restaurant of 10 people, I would try and find anything to get me out of doing that, because of that's actual people that I've got to stand and talk to, which I know sounds really bizarre, doesn't it? I think people, again, think when we do this for a living, we're confident. Confidence is such a strange thing. I had this conversation the other day with somebody, and I was saying, so when I'm talking to a camera, the camera don't answer back. It's just me and the camera. And even in the studio, on air, it's as if I know the people I'm around, I'm perfectly fine. That's your environment. So no. In answer to your question, no, I never would have put myself forward to go and do it. But I'm really glad I did. As I say, it was a confidence from Sue, genuinely. That isn't just a story or a line we use. It was genuinely Sue reaching out and going, you should do this and I want you to do it for us. And I was like, I can't, this is something that could literally change my life. So I've got to say yes and see where this takes me. And I'm really pleased I did.
No, I'm with you. I think most people think we're really confident people because we do TV and we can talk to anyone. But I think if you literally scratch the surface, none of us would walk into a room full of people. I'd rather be there ridiculously early and then wait till them come in than be the last person to walk into everyone staring at you. I'm with you all the way on that one.
I know, and it's weird.
No, it is. It is really weird, and I don't think people get it. They think you're sort of telling porcupines like, oh no, you like it. Yeah. I love that. I could do this till the cows come home, but what I can't do is walk into a room full of people. This is so true. When I actually see people, I freak out. Says Martin, the paper crafter that we've got in here. It is. It's one of these things. Let's move forward again. So we've done DT team. We're creative expressions. We've been on the TV. We're enjoying sort of what we're doing. Then you take a step back from creative expressions. Now we don't need to go into details and things like this, but you took a step. Oh, okay, let's do it then. So you took a.
There's no secrets. It's an open therapy session. You can ask anything. It's fine.
I was trying to be diplomatic because I don't know the answer to this. So I was going to tiptoe around it and get to something else.
They sacked me. They didn't want me. No, they didn't. No. It was just. Okay. I think like everything, any job, any relationship, even any part of life, at some point, and not always, and not everybody, but at some point, you think, I want to try something new. I need to explore something different. I love that I do this part of it, and I again, no lies, I loved creative expressions. I loved the team. I loved the product. I loved what I was doing. But at some point, you have to go, okay, well, I've done that. I've climbed that mountain. I can't keep climbing the same mountain and expect a different result. I need to go and find another mountain and see if I can do that. And that was really, I suppose, in honesty, what it was about. And I didn't. And this is another thing, and I was very honest about it at the time. I never left thinking that we would go on and open Jamie Rodgers Crafts. That wasn't the plan. I know you've seen that with previous people in different companies in different situations where they build up in one company and then say, okay, I'm going to go out on my own. That really was never the plan. I left in the December, literally before Christmas. It was really silly timing and it was all on my bit, but I left just before Christmas and we had loads of phone calls over Christmas, like, come and work for me, come work for me. I had loads of amazing offers. And I don't know, it was kind of having the time over the Christmas to give them all a lot of thought. And I was like, I think I'm just going to end up doing what I was already doing, just climbing the same mountain, but maybe carrying a different flag with me to stick in the top of it. So instead, let's do this on our own. And it was really Pete who was kind of the champion of that and was like, we can do this. And we set off and we was going to do like one stamp release every 2 or 3 months was the plan. And then very quickly it kind of snowballed and that's how we got to where we are.
This is good because I remember it wasn't the phone call with me, but I remember being in the office when we were told that you were coming over to the channel that no longer exists. That you've got we've got Jamie coming in, and I remember presenting one of your very first sort of shows that it was. Because in those days, I remember our conversation. We were talking about glue. That you didn't have any glue yet, and it was hard to find glue. That's how back in the day it was. So you say Pete championed the Let's Start Jamie Rodgers Crafts. Was that something you thought, okay, let's do this, but then, as you said, it snowballed into something that you didn't think it was? That's a massive snowball. As I said in the introduction, over 500 products this year alone. Is that because you want to give crafters everything that you need? So you think, right, it's not out there, yeah, I'm going to do it my way.
Firstly, in answer to your question about Pete, I thought he was bonkers. I still think he's bonkers, and I still wait for the removal men to turn up and take all my stuff away because we haven't done it right. But that's the force that keeps us building, because if we don't build, we're shrinking. So we've got to keep building. And this is why we kind of stand in front of this wall of names and know that more are going to come in time, because if we're not constructing, we're shrinking. So we've got to keep constructing. The 500 items, Adam, you're very right. It was a case of, if I'm going to use a card, or I'm going to use an ink pad, or I'm going to use anything, I need to know that if I'm talking about it, that it's what it needs to be. I need it to do a job. I need it to do what I need it to be. If we're going to do an ink pad, we need to make sure that it does 5 different things, because we know that pennies aren't always as easily found as we'd like them to be for any crafter. And that might not be a bad thing. It might be that you want to buy 20 collections this month, and it's just trying to work out which ones are going to bring you the best value for money. So it's about making sure that if we're going to do a product, it's going to bring you better value and tick more boxes, and hopefully really elevate what you're doing, because that's got to be at the core of everything we do. We need to be pushing forward, not just bringing out more of the same. And if we do something that other people have done, let's be honest, nesting dies, every brand has a nesting die. We're going to do them so that they all intermix and that you've got different edges. And then we're going to do them in every shape you can imagine, so that when you've got that square, you can put a circle in it, you can put an oval in it, you can put an octagon in it, because that will then put creativity back in your hands, so that you don't just end up using the same die for the next couple of weeks and then think, well, I'm bored of that now. I want our products to make sure that they never go into a drawer and get forgotten, whether they're 6 months old or 6 years old. I want you to build and play with that collection.
So that sort of brings us on to Linda's question that Linda asked. Linda says, where do you get your inspiration for your designs from? Because I'm guessing the turnaround must be pretty quick. With 500 designs already in the bag, and no doubt, knowing craft like I do, you work 3 to 6 months in advance. Where do you get all your ideas from?
I'm very lucky, and I think this comes all the way back. I know I'm like a broken record, but where I used to sit there and build my construction of flats endlessly and wanted every flat block to look different, I think from the very beginning, in everything I've done, it's like, and I go off on another tangent, but like The Sims. Yeah. As a teenager, I loved The Sims. I didn't want to live their life. I didn't want to know what they were doing. I just wanted them to be built into really lovely houses and then move them, because then I could build another house again. And that was all I ever did. I'd use the cheat codes. We're going back to the 90s. So I would use the cheat codes, make them millionaires, and then just build them endless properties. I never let them live in them. They never actually slept in a bed or used a toilet, because that was boring. I didn't need to do that bit. I just wanted to do the decorating. And I think because of that mindset and that willingness to always move on to the next thing, I never seem to run out of ideas of what I want to do or what I feel we can go off and do. And I think if I get to the point at any stage where as kind of like the leader, if you like, or the overseer of what we're doing, if I think, well, we've run out of things to do with cards or paper craft, then maybe we'll move into another field and stick within craft. Obviously, I'm not going to start designing kitchens, but we could go off and do something else and bring in another facet to our world. There's no end.
The Jamie Rodgers kitchen range. I can see it now. It's got a ring to it.
I wouldn't mind doing a kitchen range. If IKEA's watching, I'll happily come and work with you. But you know, it's possibly not something that's on the board.
So with that in mind, and what you said, you want everything to work together. Does that not make your job twice as hard? Because you've now got to remember everything that's already in that back catalogue and everything that's coming up as well. So you can mix and match. So doesn't that make not the responsibility, but your job even harder than Tom, Dick and Harry creating what they're creating?
Absolutely. And sometimes like everybody, we don't always get it right. We can't always predict every single thing we're going to do and when we're going to do it. And this is just a silly example. Last year, we brought out something called an elegant poinsettia petals. Last night, we sat there naming our next Christmas collection. And we're like, it needs to be called elegant poinsettia because it's all going to go together. But can we really have 2 elegant poinsettias that aren't quite the same, but are the same, but aren't the same? And we were like, well, hopefully nobody will notice. And then here I am telling you about it. So you will notice and you will see it. And you will be like, he's got 2 elegant poinsettias. Could he not think of another name? But there is a reason that some of that collection feeds into something else that we called an elegant something. So it coordinates. But yes, however hard we try to plan ahead, it doesn't always mean everything works flawlessly. But if we can be honest about that, and we can show you what does and what doesn't, and why it doesn't, then it's down to you to actually think, well, okay, well, maybe Jamie didn't quite think that one through. Maybe I've got a tonic dye, or maybe I've got a crafter's companion dye, that's going to do something to go alongside that as well, because it isn't only just about us as a brand. Yeah, of course, we want you to always think of our brands and what we're doing, but craft isn't about that. Design isn't about that. You're going to bring in other items, and sometimes it might be actually that company or that designer has done something that's going to work really well with what we're doing, and that's important too.
No, I like it all. I like all this. Let's go serious for a second. Just serious for a second, then we'll move on to the creative expressions part of it, because it also ties into another question that Jennifer asks: is it scary?
Yes.
Is it a... There we go, we'll move on. From there, is it a... Do you still get scared, even though you've had all this success and Jamie Rodgers' brand has took off, Creative Expressions is doing really well, which we will get to? Is it a scary, scary world still out there?
I'm petrified. Do you want the truth? I'm petrified, because if we build this balloon and we blow it bigger and bigger and bigger, we've got to maintain that. And that's from our side, making sure that the product quality doesn't drop, that the designs don't get wishy-washy, that we can maintain the shipping and the handling and the processing of all of that lot. And then when we bring in new people, we're growing, I want to make sure that everything they do, that stops with us. And I say we, as in me and Pete, everything stops with us. So if it might be somebody else that's designed it, done it, created it, it's still got to fit within our world. It's still got to be the quality that we want it to be. So yes, that's scary. And as we expand as a company, and it's not all about money, because it isn't, but obviously we're not silly. The more people we take on, the more we have to constantly keep that ball rolling to make sure that next week we're not saying to people, we only employed you last month, but I'm sorry, you're going to have to leave now. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there is genuine fear. There's the business side behind the craft, without a doubt. The craft is amazing, and being able to play with all of these different products and bring them out and create with them, incredible. But yes, the business side to it is, again, a real joy, and I love it. But it's uncharted waters to us. It's not something. We're not a huge conglomerate. We're not stood here as sort of people with 20 years experience and £1 million in the bank going, well, if this release doesn't work or people don't like it, it doesn't matter. It's not. Everything we do matters, because everything we do is yet another stepping stone in what we're trying to do. So if we take a couple of steps wrong, that's scary. It's not the end, but it's scary. So yes, in answer to Jennifer's question, it's scary, but I wouldn't change it for the world, and I absolutely love it.
She also asks, so where's your happy place? Where's that place that you go, you know what, no one can touch me here for a few minutes. I'm all right here.
Inside craft, I have a little cupboard under the stairs that I just go and hide in, like Harry Potter. No, not really. I love making my cards. Absolutely love making my cards. I can sit and make cards all day, every day, without a single question. I absolutely love it. If outside of craft, because obviously, craft is a huge part to my world, but just in case Jennifer's question wasn't craft related, then I love theme parks. I absolutely adore the world of theme parks. And I go into that wanting to know about who designed it, when it was built, how much it cost, how many people can ride that ride in an hour. If you think train spotting, but in theme parks, that's me. I love to know every detail.
Does this mean, I don't know where you'll find the time, but does this mean and this will be the smallest reference ever, do you watch Theme Park Worldwide?
Do I watch it? Do you mean as in the...
It's a YouTube channel.
What is it? Oh, I forgot his name. Is it Sean?
Yes, that's the one.
Sean, I don't watch him. I don't know why I don't watch him, but I don't watch him. He's not one. I don't watch a lot on YouTube. I follow a lot of websites because I can do that in bed at like 3 in the
True.
morning. I can just scan over what's happened that day. It's pretty much the only thing I read, and it's the only thing, if I read it, I ingest it because I think it's from a true sense of passion and wanting to know. If I try to read a book, then that goes in one ear and out the other. There ain't room up there for that. But if you want to tell me about who's designed the latest water ride going into Efteling, then I'm there for it.
No, he's the same. He's
So,
exact, and I follow him on YouTube, and I'm trying to get him on here.
oh yeah,
I'm
oh, that'd be
trying.
interesting.
I am trying. It's
Okay.
not. I'm trying to tie it back to craft at the moment, which is quite hard.
How's that going? Well, from my side, if this helps, to me, theme parks are craft. And this is, and I can go to a theme park and I cannot ride a single ride. It's not about, it is about the rides and it is about that. But it goes back to being about design. I love the way you walk into a theme park and it transports you to a different time, a different place, a different era. And that's design. That's creativity. So I know that they're not connected, but they are in my head, if that makes sense. It all comes back together. It's all from a place of design.
That's what.
So does that help get him on?
That's what we'll run with. That will be my email this afternoon again. He's in America at the moment. Let's move on. So we've got Jamie Rodgers Craft. That's doing well. It's building and building. It's growing. It's growing. As I said, I was there in the early days, which were fond memories of when we started together. That's how we sort of met each other from there. Yeah. And then you've now grown into this massive company that sort of covers everything now. So how did Creative Expressions, how did that become part of the Jamie Rodgers Craft brand?
As I say, when we spoke about me leaving, it was just because I needed a new chapter, but it didn't mean I didn't enjoy that chapter. Do you know what I mean? You can really love something or someone or enjoy something, and yet when that comes to an end, be sad it's come to an end. And I did. When I left, I was upset to leave. I knew I'd got to leave, but I was upset to leave. This wasn't something I was counting down the days and running out the door. I can remember standing in the Hobby Maker studio, trying my best not to cry my eyes out, because it wasn't something I was excited to be doing. It was just something I knew I'd got to do for me. I know this all sounds very bizarre, and I often find in life you have these moments where it's as if somebody else comes in and takes control of what you're doing and takes you off on a different path. And then 2 years later, I stand here and go, well, why did I do that? And how did that happen? And did I really do that? Because I don't remember doing that or thinking that through. And this was one of them occasions. So when I left, it was good and bad, but there was certainly no part of me that wanted that company to close or disappear from our world. It was, in my world, my mind, this huge brand that stood for so many good and positive things, design and creativity and respect in the industry. And the ethos of how they run their company was really important to me. So when I was told that they was going to be retiring, I didn't feel that it was right that we let that slip, that we just go, okay, that chapter's shut now, and we close the door on that one. And it just so happened that Jamie Rodgers Crafts had got to a stage where we could go, actually, we want to expand and we want to bring in new designers. So instead of having everybody sit under the JRC brand, let's actually bring in a new brand and call that our umbrella brand. So we do now literally trade as Creative Expressions, and everything falls underneath that umbrella. And it was kind of our way of giving us a brand new name at the top, but making sure we kept onto and saved something. And maybe this is just me, everybody watching might have a different opinion, but to me, Creative Expressions is something that I didn't want to see go. I wasn't ready to let that go yet. I needed that to continue. It's a bit like when we talk of Woolworths and we say, oh, I miss Woolies. I really wish Woolworths was still here. And, I'm sure at the time somebody tried to save it and it probably didn't work. But how grateful would we have been if it had have? How grateful would we have been if it was still here? And to me, that's kind of my mindset for why we needed to save Creative Expressions and bring it back.
And you did save it, and my word, has it gone from strength to strength, and no doubt there is more in the pipeline as well. Oh, FYI, there is a load of love for you in the chat. I'm trying to put them all on the
Oh,
screen
thank you.
as we're chatting, but there is loads of love for you.
Thank you. I can't
So
read and talk. That'll be gone. But I will come back and read them all, I promise.
neither can I. That's why my eyes slyly go right to the chat every now and then. So with Creative Expressions now as the big umbrella, and then all these brands underneath. So that is now home of Jamie Rodgers Crafts. It's home of Woodware. And it's
Correct.
home to any others?
No, I was fearful then what you was going to say.
Yeah, am I?
What do you know that I don't know? There will be more. What can I tell you that would give you a little bit away? Maybe by the end of the year. Maybe.
Oh, okay, there'll be another strand to the umbrella.
We talk about them as frames because behind me we have our frames. So it's all very set out that this is our umbrella and then these are our frames below them. So obviously we recently introduced the Woodware one. This shelf over here could do with one on there. So maybe by the end of next year we might have to think about bringing in another one if things go to plan. You never know if everything's going to go to plan, but if it does, then maybe. I'd like to see another frame on there.
We're liking it, though. We do like it a lot. We're loving the frameage that you've got on here. So let's talk about... So you've got the umbrellas. You've got everything you need. So when did you make the decision to bring people back, i.e. Gwen, who, may I say, is one of the nicest guests I have ever worked with? I felt like I'd known her for years when I met her the
She's
other
lovely,
week.
isn't she?
So how did that all come about? Is it a case of, you know what, I can't do all this on my own. This is far too much work, so I will outreach to old friends, as it were.
The bizarre bit here, and I think I'm all right to say this, when me and Gwen was at Creative Expressions, because obviously we worked together there was no rivalry, there was no problem, there was no issue. We always got on, we had some lovely times together. I could tell you about some drunken stories, I won't, but I could. So we always had a good laugh, we've always had fun. But it was when I left, actually, that I think we become even more close and even more together and closely knit. So as Jamie Rodgers Crafts come along and it was a case of let's build this up, it was a case of I need to bring Gwen back and I need to work with Gwen again. I couldn't see a world in which I wasn't with Gwen in this. I trust Gwen. I know she's going to deliver a good job. I actually think she does a better job than I do, to be honest with you. So to me, it was important that we put the right people in the right places to bring you all of the inspiration. And I know it's hard because of you might think that we want to deliver everything, or I want to deliver everything. I want my name on everything, and I want to show everything, and I want to produce everything. There's strength in having other people because everyone brings to the party their flavor, their style, their ideas. So to us as a brand, we need other people. It can't just be about me because you're going to get bored of me. You're going to get bored of what I do. So we need to make sure that we inspire you from lots of different people. So yeah, Gwen was one of those reasons. Many of them reasons.
So you've got Gwen on the team. Then you start bringing in Woodware, which was only announced the other week that it was coming back to Hobbymaker that you've got. Once again, another phenomenal brand that does something slightly different. How did that one come about?
My love of the brand. Genuinely, my love of the brand, my love of the designs, the love of the people. Because what is a brand without the people? So Francoise and Jane, to me, both of them, they're people I've worked with at Creative Expressions. They're people I get on really well with. I could tell you a whole story about a game of Articulate and Francoise and Jane just repeatedly yelling Dusseldorf at each other. That is going to be one of their memories I'm going to relive multiple times throughout the rest of my life. All at a demo day at Gwen's with Gwen and her husband, and I won't tell you what they were yelling at each other on one team, Jane and Francoise on another, and me and Pete on another. And me and Pete, quite honestly, we're not intelligent. We went into this game like, well, there is no hope. This is going to be car crash. We're going to come out, they're going to think that we are like toddlers. And we won. But yeah, it was a good game, but it wasn't about the winning, it was about the people. So no, absolutely, when it comes to the idea of where do we build our team, where do we build our company, why would I not go to the people that I respect, admire, and genuinely love what they do. So, of course, Francoise is back with Woodware, as we see through the show the other day. Jane has sadly retired. I'm not going to say I'm allowing her to close the door just yet. And I do keep talking to her. She keeps popping up and having little chats. So maybe something might happen, but that isn't a reveal. That's more of a wish. That's more something on the wish list. But Jane, absolutely, I keep telling her this on every live I do. The door is always open because it, again, comes from a place of knowing Jane's style, knowing Jane's work ethic, and knowing that actually as crafters, she brings another style to the table that we need to play with.
Francois has commented, what a memory.
It was possibly just in our age, but it was a lovely evening. And I think if you get people together and you take work out of it and you play games like that, you make memories, you bond with people in a different way. So yeah, absolutely. When we've got the chance to reach out and work with them from this side of it, why would we not?
It's also, I'm guessing then, amazing trust that you have in Francois, also in Gwen, that you've got on this one to keep your name going, because obviously it's under the name of Creative Expressions, but it's your name behind it all now. Is that don't get me wrong, they are amazing. They are advocates for your team. They are some of the best that I've worked with over the years. Is that another sleepless night thinking, oh Lord, what have I done now? What?
Honestly, no. And I'm not just saying that because I'm here and on air and some of them might be here. But no, that isn't at all. The sleepless nights, the nights before the shows occur from my side, panicking. Have we sent the right show poll? Has the box of samples arrived? Will everything go okay? I'll get used to that. That's just time and experience. But actually running for other people, that's scary. And then the trust part, again, yes, you're right. We have to trust them to represent our brand. But to me, and this again isn't just me saying this, the bigger side of that, they have to trust us. This brand that's fell out of the sky a year ago with me, who's just me, without putting myself down, because I'm not after sympathy or compliments or anything along them lines, but just me, who I know I've got more flaws than a multi-story. They've got to trust that I can run this brand and pay them, basically. Let's be honest. You know, they do these designs, they do this work, they go and do these shows, they do their demo days, they do all of this, like they invoice us, and then I've got to have made sure that I've done my calculations right. And that's a big part of trust on their side. And then for Francoise, she's got to trust me with her designs and her product, because I know, and this isn't me letting go of a secret, but just, I'm sure you could guess this already, there were several people who approached her, very big names in the industry, who said, we'll house Woodware, we'll take you on, we'll, forget the Woodware bit, we'll have you. So she had a lot of options, and still she said, I'm going to go with Jamie. And that is an amazing pressure, but it's a pressure and a trust from their side to us that we've got to deliver.
That is, me and Francois we were chatting about that, because we were telling her she's 30 years in the industry. This year or next year, that you've got, and the trust that they have, and they believe in your product. And that's the other one I'm guessing as well. They've got to believe in your products. Yes, they've got their own background, but they've now got to believe in the glitters and the glues and the dyes and the fundamentals that they've already got. This brings us on nicely, checking the time, to what is coming up. I could chat for hours. We're not even halfway through page 1 yet.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. We'll have to come back. We'll do part 2. This brings us neatly to new members of the team that are starting. Now, I don't know if we're allowed to talk between me and you, like we've chatted about it. I don't know if we're allowed to announce this, but I'm going to hold this on you. So,
thank you. I appreciate that.
But I think the advert comes out today, does it not? So if you've all seen the advert on Hobbymaker, where Jamie walks in, gets a little note from reception. He has a little cameo. God bless her. Hands you a note from S. We now find out who S is. Would you like to reveal live on Craft the Clock?
Absolutely. And I'll even give you a sneaky peek.
Let's
Our
do it.
lovely S is no other than the incredibly talented Sue Wilson. So
Sue
I'm sure
Wilson.
many of you guessed that Sue was our S. And again, we go back in a big circle. How can we have creative expressions without Sue Wilson? And again, Sue had retired. I'm going to get a reputation. I just keep going to these people and going, you can't retire. You've got to come back. You've got to come and work. I'm not going to let you go. So yeah, we've kind of brought her back from retirement. And if you haven't already heard, she will literally be here in the UK at the Hobby Maker Studios on Saturday, doing her first live shows in about 5 years, I believe. She'd won actually in the middle, but in the last 5 years, she come and did one set of shows with you at Hobby Maker, and that's it. So this is only her second set of shows in 5 years.
So is it this weekend? Is this weekend the Takeover weekend?
It is. Yes, the 13th. Yeah. I'm getting nervous about this, Adam. Getting rather nervous.
Well, so explain to me what a Creative Expressions Jamie Rodgers takeover is. What are you taking over on Hobby Maker on Saturday?
4 hours. Again, we talk of trust. That's a huge amount of trust for Hobby Maker to put into us as a brand. And it goes in every direction, doesn't it? But they've given us 4 hours. So I'm hoping you're all going to tune in and watch, because if you don't, I'm never going to get it again. So come and join in and just watch. But we've got 4 hours. There will be 2 of Sue, and Sue will be bringing her brand new. This isn't very good. I'm sorry. I've not got the Adam flair for sharing. But there will be a collection from Sue that I will take you through on tonight's live at 7. So you'll know about it before the day. And then there is also a huge collection from me as well, full of DL panels and nesting dies and flowers and bits. So Sue will have 2 hours. She's on at 1 and 5, and I will be on at 3 and 8. So throughout the day, we'll have 4 hours between us.
So that's the takeover. Everyone's saying the worst kept secret ever.
No, it's terribly kept. It was just the most ridiculous secret. But it was good fun, and we enjoyed it.
Dave told everyone on Francois' show. You can't tell Dave nothing. You really can't. Delighted to see Sue is back. Jamie has to come back for a part 2. Well,
always.
Never. I might go to Jamie. I've not decided. That you've got on here.
Welcome.
Where does this fit in then? How do we get our hands on one of these?
That's a very good question. Do we know this for sure? I believe they get one with each order, don't they? Is that how it works? I'm looking to Pete, because Pete's dealt with all of this. I helped with the designs, but that's been my involvement with this one. But it's an honour and a privilege to be asked to do a pin badge. There hasn't been many Hobby Maker pin badges, has there?
There's not.
So when we talk about us as a brand, to be able to be this new to Hobby Maker, and to be able to walk in the door and then give us 4 hours and a celebratory pin badge, honestly, I couldn't ask for more support. And again, we talk about 2 ways. Incredible.
Well, this is the thing. The Hobby Maker is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger that you've got, and they do throw everything into every single brand that is on there. As I say, I am the only one at the moment with one of these. I've also noticed as well, if you are lucky enough to get your hands on a pin, oh, FYI, yours won't come on brown card. I've mounted it because it was small for me to hold. Yours won't be coming on the brown card. That was just me crafting this morning. There is also a discount code on there as well. For 15% off Creative Expressions and brand. So if you can get your hands on one, you're also going to get a cheeky little 15% off some other stuff as well that you've got on there. It's nearly time to round everything up, and there's still loads to talk about that we've got on here. I just saw a question. What time? Because I might. Oh, here we go. Well, let's say the times again. What times? Because I might be going to the Motorcycle Museum, because there's a craft event on there as well, which Kat and Julie will be out with the brand new tote bag. So what time are you on Saturday?
So Saturday's times: 1 p.m. for Sue, 3 p.m. for me, 5 p.m. for Sue, 8 p.m. for me.
There you go. So they're all the times you need. Also, let's promote your live tonight. Where can we find your live this evening?
That's very kind. We will be on the Creative Expressions page at 7 p.m. and we'll take you through Sue's collection and my collection and show you lots of inspiration from the DT.
Is it just Creative Expressions, nothing else I need to type in?
No, That's it. Just search Creative Expressions. It'll come up. You'll see the little logo. If you're not already following the page, it'd be lovely to have you with us. It's where you can find out about all of our events. It's where we house all of our lives for all of our brands currently and going forward. So it really is the main place for you to follow.
Are you on the YouTubes?
We are on YouTube, yeah. I am not broadcasting yet on there. I'm a bit of a technophobe. I need to broadcast on there. I'm just scared to know how to do it. But I have got to put my big boy pants on at some point and try and work that out on the little boxy thing that I have no idea what I'm doing. But we do upload them the next day to YouTube. So if you can't watch live, you can catch up on YouTube.
There you go. So go and find everything this evening, Creative Expressions, over on Facebook. One more question before I let you go that we have got is, do you still enjoy what you do?
I could get emotional about this because I absolutely love it. You start off in life having dreams. I never thought mine would come true, and I love it. I absolutely adore it. I get to do everything I want to do every day with the most talented, incredible people by my side. I get to employ and work with a lot of my family. So we're truly a family business. So every day we build new memories and enjoy new parts of a different world that none of us ever thought we could achieve. And here's where I get soppy. It's all because of you guys. Because if we can build any brand, we can build anything. Unless you support it, it's not going to stay here. And it's only through your support right the way from the beginning, even before any of this appeared, when it was just me on TV. It was, if it weren't for you guys, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have built this. So yes, I love it. I absolutely couldn't be happier. I love it.
I think Alison sums everything up, really. Jamie, you and Peter should be really, really proud of what you've achieved. As I say, I know you back from when this all started, from when the Jamie Rodgers bit started, and I know how scared you were. And we've saw ourselves in other venues, as it were, let's say, up and down the country. Our paths have crossed a few times, and even then you go, it's petrifying. It genuinely is, but you should be so proud of what you've done and what you've achieved.
This sounds silly, and we go back to the therapy session part. I haven't yet got the proud bit, and I appreciate people say it, and it's lovely, and it's amazing, and thank you. I don't yet feel proud. We have a huge mountain that we need to climb. We're faking it till we make it in a lot of ways, and we're trying really, 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 really hard to be everything you want us to be. I need to get us up there to where I think you think we might be, or where I want us to be. And then I might go, do you know what, we can have a day off and be proud about what we've done. But until then, there's work to be done.
There is work to be done, but you can't. It's a good work to be in. As you said before we came live, we get paid to play with glitter, which I'm definitely I've genuinely jotted it down because I love that quote that you've got.
It's the truth.
I also like more holes than a multi-story. I jotted that down as well because I'm going to
more flaws than a multi-story.
Oh, is it more flaws? Oh, more flaws.
Yeah, as a human, but that's fine. We all have them. It's just knowing about them and trying to work around them, isn't it?
I love it. Jamie, thank you so much for taking time out of your really busy schedule. And I know how busy you are. Remember, Saturday, if you want to get your hands on a pin badge, just like me, because this one's not going back to the studio. If you want to get your hands on a pin badge, Saturday is your day. And I am guessing when they're gone, they are gone. Thank you, Jamie. Lovely. It's been an absolute pleasure. You know where you are if you need me. If you need me to promote anything, just
what day are we on? Monday. Every Monday at 12, I'll be back for another therapy session. It's fine.
I'm here.
Whether you broadcast them or not.
We could do what I can fit in between 1 and 2 before I've got to do the school run.
Okay.
We could do that.
All right, okay. If that fits with your schedule, I don't know. Getting demanding now.
Or we could do the morning. Jamie Rodgers, It's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on Craft O'Clock. Don't go anywhere because I'll chat to you once I click the off button. Because we're also going to listen to your favourite song one more time. Jamie, thank you. Hopefully, I get to work with you soon on the telly box. It's been a pleasure.
So. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. See you soon. What a lovely... Oh, I got excited. A lovely, lovely man. He really is. Tomorrow, let's quickly approach tomorrow. We've got the one and only Jess from Tilly Victor will be coming on. Also, if this is you and you are in that chat, you need to email me I've still got your goodies from Leonie to give away. You've got until next week. I'll give you till next week to do all of that. I got news tomorrow as well about craft clocks coming up. We'll do it all with Tilly Victor. Right, don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. Jamie's favourite song is coming up next, and I will see you tomorrow at 12 o'clock. I'll see you then for more Craft the Clock. Remember, I only ask you one thing. Tell a friend we're here. The more of you are in, the longer we will keep on doing this. I'll see you tomorrow. Ta-ra! All together now.
Cut it, stamp it, craft with pride. Jamie Rodgers leads the ride. With creative expressions, ideas flow. Woodware magic makes it glow. Jamie Rodgers, craft we sing. Creative joy in everything. Woodware wonders bright and true. Jamie